Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, and Sunday is the day that the sun governs. Good morning. Good morning. Um, all right, y'all. Let me say, I actually feel really, really good. I managed to get so much stuff out of my house that I wasn't using anymore. And I can feel the opening in my cleared out. Like it felt like I had stuff in every corner. One of the things that's interesting when I was telling you guys yesterday when I was a little girl, my grandmother who raised me was a hoarder, and so I lived in an environment where there was no space. There was every space was taken up, um, and it's it's been an interesting thing to heal. Hey, roll with you. Nice to get you here too. It's been an interesting thing to heal, and as Venus is in retrograde, we are being given an opportunity. It's almost as if our old emotional patterns are unraveling quickly, like, and you can probably feel it in your own life. If you're not in the Venus retrograde class, I'm not sure how you're tracking this in your life, but you can come and join the Venus retrograde class because it goes into the 29th of January and all the materials are there and you can catch up. But the energy is really like I'm beginning to see because Pluto is involved. And Pluto is the place where Pluto is like the devil. It's like the opposite energy. It's the antagonist, right? It's the betrayer. Pluto is Judas, like it, whatever your Christ energy is, Pluto is the Judas to that. And what the thing that I am beginning to see in my own life is how I have needed unconsciously to create villains to push me to fulfill my soul's mission. I have Pluto conjunct my sun, and it's just a brutal energy. It really is. It's just ruthless and scandalous and a motherfucker, and it's like a whip constantly, constantly internally pushing you to be better. But it occurs for me, I have created villains, and the villains have been the men in my life. It's always, and let me tell you, I know every woman here who's listening has sat around with another girlfriend and talked about how bad men are. He won't do this, he doesn't do this, he da da da, he did, creating them as a villain. The thing that we create this external villain that is against us, right? And it shows up, this man won't, and if he would listen, and he won't do this, and he's against me in this way, and he did this, and he's a cheater, and here's the motherfucking trick in this understanding is that we create the reality. We're creating the narrative. We're creating the narrative, and then we're generating an emotion that then has to match what we are feeling, thinking, and believing inside of us. Because, and some of our fathers were our first villain, but we even created that in our soul contract to have a father as a villain, because my father was my first villain and we were born on the very same day, on September 12th. And so literally I came into this dimension at war with the masculine. And really, what that means is I was at war with this 3D reality, because the 3D reality really is the masculine. It really is, because it's external, it's the external thing, right? So you count that as the masculine also. Oh, oh my God, this tea that I got from my girlfriend, it is so good. I'm gonna get the box. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry, my eye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my cat was behind me. So it is called Dandelion Dark Rose, and it has chicory in it. My God. Like I have always wanted to drink coffee because I thought coffee smelled so good. And I grew up in a house, where the adults drink coffee. And every time I would taste it, I'd be like, this is awful. This is disgusting. How do you guys drink this stuff? And then I would try to make it better and I never could. And then I went to New Orleans. I went to New Orleans a couple of years ago and found something called chicory coffee and was like, this is it. I was like, this tastes the way it smells. And it makes sense to me. And I couldn't even find it here. I was like, I just thought it was only in New Orleans. And so I found something that is not even coffee, actually. It is dandelion roast, but it tastes like coffee and it has chicory in it and I am in heaven. Oh my God. Mm. Okay, so this Venus and the feminine in our creating a villain, right? And the stories we tell about the masculine. All of these stories they become the storyline for our own relationship to the masculine. And so we have to, whatever our belief system is, we have to play it out in real time because that is the way this reality works. The greatest challenge to our happiness is that we don't understand how the reality works. We don't get it. We actually believe that something is happening outside of us. And when something outside of us happens that feels so intense and uncomfortable, we cannot give ourselves permission to think that for 1 minute that we have created this out of our own dark, you know, out of our misunderstanding, out of our own darkness or shadow, right? And so how I have seen it in my own life is that it's almost like I needed a villain to force me into my majesty. It's almost like I needed someone in my life to be able to say, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Like I need it. I can feel the part of me that needed, like it's like if the people were like cheering for me and wanting me, like we got you. If they weren't like coming at me energetically, I don't know that I would have fulfilled my potential. The villain, right? This binary thing, the good and the bad. The villain creates a hero. Like Judas created Jesus Christ ascending, right? That's how these polarities play out. And so with Venus in retrograde, I'm catching it. I'm like, oh my God, I have been creating this villain in my consciousness that because I am the feminine and it's internal, as above, so below, what I have going on inside of me, feeling like the world is against me and I can never have what I want and how come they don't understand and how come everybody all of that internal dialogue and passed down through the lineage, right? Because it's not even really fucking mine. Literally yesterday I was just sitting and asking, like my grandmother came up to me and I was like, remember, and just sat with her in meditation and asked her what was her deepest challenge. And it was that she said to me, it was because I was a woman, I didn't have the access that men had to live my potential and my genius in the way that men had access to, especially white men. But even she said, and the world wasn't better for black men. They didn't have it any better at all. As a matter of fact, they had it just as challenging, but black men had power over her. And that is what I am working with in my own karma, because it comes through my lineage, and the sun is in Capricorn, and Capricorn rules our karma. So, what karma is up for you right now? What story are you telling yourself and calling it him or them or they won't or blah, blah? And have you asked yourself, why am I creating this? Where does this come from? What is going on within me? Because Venus is, so there's some real interesting transits today. The sun is in a conjunction with Venus, and Venus is retrograde in Capricorn. So we're really looking at, in a deep way, our emotional power and where we've been giving it away. Where have we been putting it outside of ourselves? Our emotions, our feelings, right? I can't do this because they won't. I can't do this because. So for me, it's like, I can't fully, like my story was that my ex, my ex didn't support me because he thought I should go get a job, a 9 to 5. That he didn't really believe in my dream. Um, that he didn't really believe in my dream. So he was against me, and he didn't support me, right? And so I needed that villain that would help me then, okay, I'm gonna work harder and I'm gonna prove it, that kind of thing, right? So I'm literally watching those energies unravel rapidly. All the villains I created that were against me, that were trying to, but those energies really helped me fulfill my potential. I needed them. And then the sun conjunct Venus, and then the sun square the moon. So the sun is square the moon today, and the sun is in Capricorn, and the moon is in Aries, and it's a square. So that means that we're in the last quarter phase of the moon, and we are being asked to make a new choice, to do something. It's like where the roads come to cross, right? And you only have two directions to go. But the directions are usually, are you going to continue to do the old stuff you've been doing, or are you going to do something new? That's it. And so that is being asked of us today. The moon is in a square with Venus. And so the moon is in Aries, and Aries is about new beginnings. And like, are you going to do something new? And Venus is retrograde in Capricorn, going backward. So you have old emotional patterns that might show up as anger and rage, or, fury and all of that. And are you going to do the same thing you've always been doing with it? Or are you going to do something different? It's as simple as that. Are you going to make a new choice? And then Mars in a trine with the moon in a trine with the Mars. So the moon in trine. So there's a lot of anger today. There will be a lot of anger and a lot of discomfort, because Mars and all that, it just brings up anger. That's all I can really say. And so with that, consider that, and then ask, is there a new way to be with this? And so I encourage you guys, please come and join the Mercury retrograde course. Um, Mercury retrograde begins on the 14th. This Mercury retrograde is going to be in combination with Venus in retrograde. This is going to be a game changer in our reality. We are already watching our emotions come undone. We're already watching the way that we have been processing our emotions are beginning to unravel. And then Mercury is going to go in retrograde, and Mercury is going to be looking, forcing us to look at our thoughts and how we think about this reality. And so Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So I encourage you guys to come join the class. I have a couple of packages. I have a package that's $220 a month that works with all of the retrogrades all year long. And so I will always be giving you the rituals and and offering you how to work with the energy. And then you can just take the one-off retrograde class, and the classes are usually $111. So you don't have to do the with all the retrogrades. You can just come in and take, I'm going to do Mercury, and then I'll do Saturn, and then I might do Pluto or whatever. And you can just do them separately, or you can just be with them all, because every retrograde gives you an opportunity to go back and course correct energy through generational trauma, through through transformation of your mind, which is what Mercury is about, through transformation of your emotions, which is what Venus is about. So all of the retrogrades offer you an opportunity to go back and restore yourself, to retrieve your power, your energy. And that's what retrogrades are for. But in our culture, we're like, oh, it's horrible. You should be blah, 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 blah. Right? Not true. So I encourage you, because um we're moving out of the age of Pisces. You guys have heard me say this before, into the age of Aquarius. And the old ways of being are obsolete. They're done. They're going to really begin to expire. And what happens, it's just imagining a reality, because we project our realities, right? So imagine that you've been projecting a reality and a belief system, and then it just begins to dissolve. Like it just goes and it's gone, and you cannot access that anymore. And so you have to renew the energy and begin to do things in a different way. But you have to follow the cosmology because the cosmology shows you where the universe is going. So you want to be there. And it's a consciousness thing. It is not something that you're going to touch, it is something that you're going to do in your consciousness. And I am a leader, a teacher, a way shower in that, because I read the cosmology and the stars. And so, one of the beautiful things that I am beginning to experience is regularly on a daily basis, I am talking with clients whose lives are being transformed from the inside out from the work that we are doing, because it's subtle work. And in this Western world, we want to do mundane work. We want to physically, and that is not where the power is. The power is in the subtleties. The power is in the internal reshifting and reframing, and you give a signal to the energies of the universe, and then the universe brings you a new reality. You cannot move it from the outside. It can only be moved from the inside out. So that is what I am teaching in a very deliberate way, so that you can understand the creations that you have created, why you created them, and then begin to transform them into a new reality so that you can be your God self and who God created you to be, so that you can live into your Dharma. And that is your responsibility. You are here to live into your Dharma. It is your responsibility to become your God self. It is your order. It is your power. You have to do it. And if you don't do it, you will come back again in another lifetime with the same frequency, but another name and another body, and you will start your ass right back over where you left off. And that is okay. That is a great choice. You might do that thousands of times. It is all okay. And when you are ready and tired, you can get off of that and say, I'm going to be God in my life, and I'm going to have dominion over this motherfucking earth plane. It is your choice. Have it your way. Either way is just fine. All right. Peace and blessings, everybody. Hope to see y'all, or I see y'all in the Mercury retrograde class and in the Venus retrograde class.